Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ayla from Vermont Red Pill coming at you with another commentary on our life, our culture, and everything in between. I know somebody who works with a handful of Gen Zers, and they are clearly addicted to their phones. They're socially awkward. Um, they can't do math, like regular math in your head. Like if they're using a cash register and they need to make change and the cash register for whatever reason is malfunctioning, they will just stare at you like a deer in the headlights. They do not know what to do. I don't know what the heck they're teaching them in school, but it is not practical math. Okay? I worked as a cashier many years ago, and the most basic math that you can do in your head, you should be able to figure this stuff out. It's just concerning, very concerning, that these kids can't do that. It's not just the math thing. It's just a constant need to be on their phones, distracted. They kids love TikTok. They're constantly on TikTok, and TikTok has taught them to have a very short attention span. And they will just sit there on their phones, and a customer will show up, and they don't know it, nor do they care. And you have to alert them to it and be like, hello, there's a customer right there. And you might get some sort of sassy attitude like, well, why don't you help them? And that, I think, is a really good reason to fire someone. Okay, well, that's just me. I have a lot of experience with customer service in my past. I know what is expected, and we are not getting it from these Gen Zers, at least the ones that I am aware of. And I'm not trying to knock on Gen Zers. That's not what this video is about. This video is actually about one of the Gen Zers that works there. His name, let's just go with Kenneth. And he's a shy guy. He's a nice guy, good work ethic, but very shy, no confidence whatsoever. And he has been working there for a couple of years. Well, lately we are seeing a change in Kenneth, and I bet you can't guess why. Well, Kenneth has decided that he is actually Lila. And Lila, I gotta tell you, Lila is the life of the party. Lila is fun. Lila pays attention. Lila can't wait to get out there in the world and let everybody see how pretty she is. Problem is, Kenneth is Lila. And Kenneth has told one of his female coworkers, that he went to the mall with to get his new skirts and tights. He told this coworker later on that he is not trans, he is not gay, he likes women, and this is just what he does in order to interact with them. I'm impressed that he was this honest, because I think a lot of the trans females and men that think they're women, I think that they are not honest with themselves or others as to why they're doing this. One of the reasons why there's so much trans stuff is like the moms, I think, that are pushing it when they're younger. But another reason is we are sending these boys to public school, which is a matriarchy. Mostly women are working there. And women aren't very good at handling masculinity because they don't understand it, nor do they accept it. They think it's bad. So every time a guy shows confidence, stoicism, anything that is slightly masculine, they are scolded. There's no approval there, and they are lost as students, lost as young men. They're not finding their place in society because we have scolded them into silence. They don't answer questions. They don't volunteer. They don't do anything but sit there at their desk with their heads down, hoping that nobody calls on them. Is that what we want for our future of young men? To be so scared that somebody will call on you because anytime you open your mouth, you're going to get attacked by females? That is the world that we're leaving them. Kenneth isn't happy and bubbly. I'm sorry, Lila isn't happy and bubbly because she finally transitioned. No, she is happy and bubbly because she's finally accepted. She can hang out with the girls and not get attacked and not be told, oh, you're sexually harassing me, or sign this contract before you even think about giving me a kiss. I don't understand this world that we're living in right now, but women, if you want men to just leave you alone, you're doing a great job at that. So keep it up if that is your goal. But for the rest of us, these men are broken. I don't know how we can fix them. other than homeschooling, because public school is broken. It does not cater to young boys at all. They get put on medication to control their urges, to, run around and break stuff, because that's what boys do. We put them on medications to sedate them. We yell at them for saying anything that's contradictory to what the feminists are saying. How dare you have any sort of contradictory attitude about anything the teacher says? I mean, you've seen the videos, right? Where the teacher's just shutting down the male students. The male students are starting to fight back, which is good. But where does that leave people like Kenneth? Kenneth is 16 going on 17. He's almost done with school. And public school has done its damage to him. At least he's honest in the fact that he's not really trans. But we have left him in a world where he has to pretend to be in order to hang out with females and feel comfortable in his own skin. He literally has to put on a dress or a skirt and tights in order for him to feel accepted and loved. Because he's transitioned, Kenneth is finally getting the attention and the connections that he has always craved and never knew he wanted. All Kenneth wanted was friends and acceptance, and to be treated fairly in the way that the females are being treated. These men are socially inept because nobody bothered to teach them how to be men. It's not too late for people like Kenneth / Lila, because at least he knows that he's still a man and he knows why he's wearing a dress. But there are a lot of young men that do not know this about themselves, and they are being affirmed by woke teachers, by quack psychologists, people who want to stick them on puberty blockers. Can you blame them for being confused? I mean, I can't. They've decided that they would be better off living life as girls. Imagine what you have to go through psychologically as a male to come to that conclusion. Again, I blame the matriarchy that is public school. I think that this second, third wave of feminism has really hurt both men and women, because the men can't interact with the women and the women don't respect the men. So the men are almost afraid to interact with the women, which is why so many of them have never had a real relationship with a woman. The teachers are teaching them to interact with feminist ideals, emotional regulation, and confidence. No, this is being replaced by emotional intensity, teamwork, and just a general sense that you are a cog in the machine and not an individual. Emotional reasoning doesn't really come naturally to men. They are more logic-based. And schools used to cater to that, or at least recognize that, and they just don't care anymore. Boys aren't allowed to be boys anymore. Men aren't allowed to be men anymore. Real relationships based on deception are not real relationships and friendships at all. You can't hold this kind of secret when you're a male pretending to be a female so that you can hang out with other females. If a woman finds out that that's why you're doing it, oh boy, are you ever in trouble. These relationships are not healthy, but they seem to be becoming more and more the norm for interactions with young women and men. Boys aren't really girls. They just want to be treated like a man, more than anything. But in order for them to be accepted, they have to put on a dress and be a woman.